Welcome back to another Motive Rebuilds car review. Today we'll be reviewing my car, the Jetta R-Line 2019 in gray. Now starting with the exterior, the R-Line offers a sporty package offering a different look than the standard Jetta or the Jetta GLI. The front logo isn't real. It's actually a sensor. It's damaged, but it's also very flat and very fake. It's just an image printed on. The Mark 7 Jetta R-Line offers LED headlights with fog lights and daytime running lights. The Jetta R-Line also offers 17-inch alloy wheels, along with a very, very high rise, as you can see here. My whole hand can fit right here too, so the gap is very big.
It's a really nice car. You have the traditional sweeping lines from the back for any of the Jettas that they have.
I don't know.
You got some nice badging. Yeah, so you got nice little bits of R-Line. There's no red line.
No.
Is that included in any of the models?
The GLI has it. However, yes. In terms of styling, the exterior of this car has like really cool points per their design choice. It also offers black mirror caps as well as a silver lining accent and a black roof to complement the gray.
Under the hood of this 2019 Volkswagen Jetta, we have a 1.4-liter four-cylinder engine with a light turbocharger. Very low pressure. It's meant for better torque and better fuel economy. Under here, we can tell that Volkswagen has done a lot of simplifying. This boost pipe is plastic, which I'm not the biggest fan of. The intake manifold is also plastic, in which previous cars, it was metal. This engine produces 147 horsepower and 158 pound-feet of torque and drives the front wheels through an 8-speed automatic transmission made by Aisin. All right, now we're going to drive the 2019 Volkswagen Jetta R-Line. All right, Leowin. So, now that we're off and away, tell me, how does this car behave in just regular city situations? How would you say, if you could describe this car in a few words, how does it drive?
I'd have to say zippy, quick, and stupid.
Yeah.
I like this car. It is very efficient in fuel. It is a very good commuter. But the only thing I don't like is the auto start-stop function.
Oh yeah, those suck. Especially in a city situation where you're just stopped and then you need to get going, you're stopping, you're going, you're stopping, you're going.
Yes.
And the ride quality is very good over bumps, I'm noticing. It's not crashy, it's not floaty, it's very nice in between. And that's been a very good thing with Volkswagen.
That's why I'll always say it's the best commuter car.
How's the engine? How's this 1.4-liter four-cylinder?
I have to push it a lot, I must say. Sometimes it's very cold in the morning, but if you really want to get it to move, you'll have to put in some power into it, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely not the most torquey motor. It's a very low displacement. And how would you describe the 8-speed automatic, at least compared to the 6-speed DSG found in your brother's GTI?
You know, I've never actually had to use the 8th gear, even though it's nice. I like to have all the gears, you know.
This transmission's also a lot smoother than the DSG, I've noticed as well.
That's true. Compared to the Golf GTI's DSG transmission, I think the Jetta has a nice, it's smoother, you know?
Yeah, it's you can creep around and it doesn't lurch. Moving on to another part about the car. How's the comfort of the seats? How's the interior quality?
So the seats, only the two front seats offer heated seating. It's in a nice white leather with the Jetta R-Line trim. And it's nice. It's very comfortable for all sizes. It's very good for sleeping and road trips.
Yeah, I mean, I used to have a Mark 7 Golf TDI with seats very similar to this, and I didn't really get sore ever driving that car. It has a similar compliant suspension, a little bit of body roll as you can feel. It's not quite as sharp as the GTI, but you do get a bit more comfort as a trade-off for that. How's the steering?
The steering's very nice. I got a great steering radius. I've never had to redo any U-turns, which is great.
Oh yeah, my S6GR is the absolute worst at that.
Oh yeah.
But you have an electric steering rack, so do you feel much through the steering?
No, not at all. I just glide through it all.
It almost feels like a video game sometimes.
Yeah, you could say that. It feels nice to drive.
Yeah, this is I mean, compared to its competitors like the Civic and Corolla, the Jetta has a very upmarket and premium feel to it.
Yes.
You have some sort of Audi switchgear in here and Audi feel. It's not totally just some crappy Volkswagen. I mean, compared to the Mark IV Jetta and the Mark III, like the earlier generations of Jetta, this generation has come a long way.
Yes.
In both nailing that sort of cheap car market and, you know, sort of that upmarket feel.
Yeah, the luxurious feeling for a cheap price.
Yeah, the Mark V Jetta was a bit too much on the expensive side. It had like more expensive materials. They tried to have it compete against things like the Volvo S40 and the BMW 3 Series. The Mark VI, they went a bit more down market. They were trying to compete against things like the Civic and the Corolla. And as a result, you had a bit of a reduction in quality. Mark VII seems to have improved on a lot of those aspects. You have a lot of switchgear in here from the Golf.
Oh, yes.
How does this compare to other engines of its class? Like, for example, the 2 liters of the other Hondas and Toyotas, because obviously this is a turbocharged motor and those other motors are naturally aspirated.
I would say it's not the highest contender, but it's up there. It's really good. It's nonetheless not a bad car. It's an amazing car.
Yeah, and one other great attribute of this is that this does not use a CVT transmission. A lot of the other compact car contenders have switched over to CVTs, and that has completely killed how they drive, in my opinion.
I will also say, in Volkswagen spirit, for a 2019 car, this doesn't feel super 2019. The only thing that I get with the 2019 package is Apple CarPlay, and that's good.
Yeah, this has a very similar feel to the 2015 Mark VII when it first came out. The steering wheel's the same, the gauge cluster is very similar, the infotainment system is still very easy to use. It's not like the new Mark 8s, which have completely gone out of their minds.
No. They've complicated it so much with the Mark 8.
Yeah, I agree. And this, honestly, is probably the last good car in Volkswagen's lineup.
I mean, unless you're considering the Europe lineup.
Yeah, I'm saying in the American lineup, this is one of the last good cars you can still buy today, for a good price, too. Yeah, but now, this gives us a chance to test how this thing handles some tight turning situations.
I love tight turning.
And as I can tell, he is not stressing out. This is a very easy car to navigate.
Oh yeah, no, it's easy.
That's the back door.
Oh yeah.
We are not supposed to be.
And we get to feel how it is over some bumps. And as I mentioned earlier, this open diff does sometimes spin the tires if you're on it a little bit too hard, but that could be also due to tires.
Oh yeah, no, the tires I got were old and crappy.
Yeah, and these are, I think, 225, 55 R17s, if I'm guessing. So they're not the widest tires, so you don't get the most traction out of them, but they're adequate. They have a lot of sidewall, so you have a nice compliant ride as a result.
I believe they're Mastercraft.
Yep. But I was thinking, throw some coilovers on this thing, there's some wider tires, and you have a great little handling car.
That's another plus I'd like to mention, is the modification potential for these cars are so much that you could get this car for really cheap and mod it like it's going to be a $30,000 car.
Yeah, and this was a $30,000 car when new.
Oh yeah.
But the cheapest Jettas in this generation still went for a pretty whopping $18,000, and today's market is $23,000, but still very good for a new car. I honestly think the Jetta is one of the best values in today's market.
Yes.
So you're going to take a left here at the stop sign.
This car was listed for $14K when I saw it.
What would you say the average price point of these cars are based on what you can see?
Based off of just looking, I'd feel the average is $20,000. It has that feeling.
Yeah, and Volkswagen also really stepped up their maintenance game. Like, the parts became a lot cheaper and easier to come by. They took out a lot of the things that complicated their older cars, like the 2 liters, for example.
Yes, that's true.
But one thing I'm not a big fan of mechanically is they switched back to a timing belt. They used to do timing chains, but we all know how badly that went with the old 1.8 liters and the early 2 liters.
I think there's a problem with this timing belt, actually.
It's just coming due for service, that's all. You know, coming about 100,000 miles.
Oh, yes.
But as you could feel, despite that, the car still feels very planted, Doesn't really have much wander. Suspension, no clunks in there. This thing has held up very well for 100,000 miles.
Yes, I think it's safe to say that after 100,000 miles of travel, the Jetta is a very reliable car.
And Consumer Reports often likes to crap on this by giving it a much below average reliability rating.
Yeah, everyone who I've seen owns a Jetta has all said that this thing can run over 400,000 miles without problems.
I am sad, however, that they don't make the TDI anymore. That was a great motor. But Dieselgate had to become a thing, and as a result, we lost the Jetta's best engine.
Yeah, it's true. I know you love your diesel, Noah.
Yes, I do love my diesels. Well, unfortunately, mine got totaled, so I don't have it anymore. The Volkswagen spirit in the group didn't die off, as we can tell.
Oh, yeah.
And also, one other thing about this motor is it sort of has diesel-like fuel efficiency, which is crazy to think. On the highway, you can these cars have sometimes averaged in the mid-40s, sometimes low 50s.
Oh, yeah.
And with a manual transmission, one guy ended up getting 53 mpg at 75 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of crazy to think.
Let's talk about some of the amenities that this car has to offer.
Yeah.
To start, we have obviously the automatic start-stop, which is a blessing and a curse if you don't know how to use it right. I don't. We talked about the heated seats already.
We have a full automatic dual zone climate control.
Yes, and this trim offers fog lights and obviously daytime running lights. And yeah, I also have parking sensors and what is it, like highway?
Yeah, you have
sensors.
Yep, you have automatic emergency braking and adaptive cruise control.
Yes.
All right. So
Actually, no, that's not true. Cut that out. I don't have that. The what is it? The other one has it. What, a trim higher. This one doesn't have it. I tried practicing, seeing if it would work, and I almost crashed into someone twice.
As you can see, this Jetta is a very comfortable commuter for its price. And how would you conclude this review? How would you say the car is just as a whole?
In conclusion, the car is a very reliable vehicle. However, it can be a little boring, and you may need to mod it to spice up your life a little bit, but that's about what you're going to get when you pay for a Jetta.
Yeah, for the price, I mean, for a car this new, you can't really do much better than this.
Yes.
The new Civics, for example, they're a little bit more fragile.
Yeah, I feel a few pros I'd like to mention is that gas is pretty cheap. I haven't had to pay a lot for gas. I also haven't had any outstanding issues with this car that I've had to take it to a shop for. So that's great.
Yeah, and a lot of the work is very easy to do on your own.
Oh yeah. One problem I would like to mention that apparently all Jettas face is that sometimes if you close the door hard enough, the trunk opens. Apparently all Jettas of this generation have this problem and they haven't fixed it. So if you ever buy a Jetta yourself, be sure to check your trunk before leaving because sometimes it can just pop open. That's the only and kind of big flaw. But other than that, it's a great car.
All right, so now it is my turn to drive the 2019 Volkswagen Jetta R-Line. Put the 8-speed automatic in drive. Let's get going. Immediate thrust off the line. No DSG or anything, so no sort of delay. Very smooth shifts. Nothing noteworthy, just a regular automatic transmission. And let me try and navigate out of here. Don't want to ding up my friend's car here. And coming out of the parking garage. But coming out of the parking garage, we can tell ride quality is very compliant over bumps. The seats are very comfortable. They're very ergonomic. They fit my seating position quite well. And turning right, steering is extremely light, and you can actually turn the steering wheel pretty much with just one finger. Watch this. That's all you need. That is literally all you need, which is kind of scary, but also very nice in low-speed situations. And as we can tell, we can see we are in drive right now. The transmission also includes a sport mode, which holds gears for longer, and also increases acceleration a little bit more. Auto start stop, you have eco mode, It's a pretty easy to use stack. Infotainment system, super easy to use. Steering wheel controls. These controls I've pretty much gotten used to, so I don't really have a problem with them. And as you can see, our headlight switch is down on the left, and we have fog lights, as Leowin mentioned earlier. Also in here, we have decent front storage. We have a nice little pad up here. I kind of wish this was wireless charging, so you could put your phone down there. In here, center console, decent amount of space, 2 cup holders, and a nice little slot for your phone. But overall, a very nice interior space, and a cup holder that actually fits a good-sized water bottle. Something that a lot of new cars cannot do. But overall, nice interior space. Making a left turn, we can feel the suspension is very tight. And the handling, the steering is very precise. It is razor sharp. Look at how little input I'm putting in. And yeah, this is actually razor sharp steering. That is something about this steering rack that I really like. And now, onto my moto score for the car. So, for the fun categories, acceleration, the car scores a 4 out of 10. Pretty unremarkable, only 147 horsepower, so it can't really do much. Handling, a 6 out of 10. It's a decent handler. It doesn't really like it when you push it, but you can still have a bit of fun with it. Engine noise, 4 out of 10. Small displacement turbo 4. What more can you expect? Styling, 6 out of 10. Volkswagen has done a very good job being conservative, yet sort of still give it that luxury look. And driver satisfaction is a 6 out of 10. Sure, you might not have a lot of power, but the handling makes up for it. And also, this interior is very well laid out. Makes this a great place to be. All right, come on, Mazda. Comfort. Seats and ride quality, 7 out of 10. Seats are very comfortable. Ride quality is very nice. It is somewhat on the firm side, but it's softer compared to its competitors and also most cars I'm used to. Quality, engine bay, reliability, and interior is a 7 out of 10. There's still some cheap plastics here in the interior, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but for the most part, pretty well laid out interior, engine, not the highest quality motor, but it'll get you where you need to go. So 7 out of 10 for me. Practicality gets a 6 out of 10. Obviously, the sedan body style gives it some disadvantages because you don't have as much space as a hatchback or a wagon, but still, pretty big trunk. Fuel economy is a 9 out of 10. Some of these cars have been able to get 53 mpg on the highway, and this car has been averaging in the mid-30s ever since Leowin has gotten it. And finally, ease of use, infotainment system, and other functions is a solid 8 out of 10. So, very easy to use climate control system, just 3 dials, infotainment system, buttons. It's not like a lot of new cars that have gone all touchscreen. The total motor score for the 2019 Volkswagen Jetta for Noah is a 63 out of 100. And this is the first car that we've given the motor score to, so I have nothing else to compare it to. However, we're making a spreadsheet with all the cars on the motor score, which you can take a look at later on. So 63 out of 100 is what this car scores on the motor score.
In conclusion, the 2019 Jetta R-Line is a very reliable car, but if you're looking for something a little more exciting, I'd suggest going elsewhere. If you're looking for a good, reliable commuter with good gas mileage, then this is your car. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again for more reviews and some other fun stuff. Thank you.
You live. I know where you live. I will find you, and I will kill you. I just kill you. I tell you now, I'm serious. I just kill you right now. I just kill you. You know that? You know that right now? I kill you. I fire you from your job. I take your wife. I take your money. I take your house. I take your kids. I am your kids. Hello, Dad. I am leaving you. You are stupid. You have no family. No family, no job, no life.
All right, buddy.
You have no job, no life, no family. I take your wife. You don't need your wife anymore. I kill your wife.
Hello. Welcome to a car review. Today we are reviewing a car. This is the car. The car we review. Very good car. Can store lots of rice bags, lots of MSG, and lots of
Yeah, look at you. Pop it, my boy.
All right, so camera has near died.
Oh, you bastard. Get a better camera. Get a better battery.
$100 per.
You're David. You're the battery guy. You should have like an instant battery charger.
And the cable for the mic receiver wasn't plugged in for the first 2 minutes, and I'm like, what the?
Oh,
That's
no.
how tired I am right
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm about to receive so many mics.
There's nothing else I should say. What else do I say? I mean.
now.